Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this: every version of your life already exists. Every dream, every possibility, every outcome floating, waiting, listening. But here's the paradox. The harder you chase it, the quieter it becomes. The moment you let go, the universe starts whispering back. In that instant of surrender, when your mind stops grasping and your soul starts trusting, the multiverse begins to move. Reality bends, timelines shift, doors appear where walls once stood. Because the truth is, the multiverse doesn't obey the loud, restless mind. It listens to silence. It listens to peace. It listens to detachment. When you stop trying to control everything, that's when everything starts to align. Welcome to the secret quantum law of reality. When you detach, the multiverse starts listening. 1. The observer effect. Reality responds to awareness. Quantum physics introduced one of the most mind-bending discoveries in modern science, the observer effect. It revealed that the very act of observing something changes the outcome of what is being observed. On the smallest level, in the quantum world, particles such as electrons don't have a fixed position or state until they are measured or looked at. They exist in what's called a superposition, meaning they are everywhere and nowhere at the same time, vibrating in a cloud of infinite possibilities. It is consciousness, your focused awareness, that collapses these possibilities into one visible outcome. This means reality doesn't exist independently of you. It responds to you. Now think about this in daily life. Every thought you focus on, every fear you entertain, every image you repeatedly visualize, all of these act as forms of observation. You are constantly collapsing potential outcomes into physical experiences through your focus. When you worry about failure, you are observing the version of reality where failure exists. When you dwell in gratitude and peace, you are tuning your mind toward timelines where harmony and success are already unfolding. The universe is like a mirror. It doesn't choose sides. It reflects exactly what you look at most. However, there's a deeper layer that most people miss. When you observe reality with attachment, meaning with anxiety, desperation, or an obsessive need for a specific result, your energy becomes rigid. You are trying to force one possibility into existence, ignoring the vast ocean of higher outcomes available in the quantum field. This mental tension narrows your awareness and traps you in lower frequencies like fear and control. As a result, you experience delay, resistance, and chaos, not because the universe is against you, but because your observation is distorted by emotion. You are collapsing reality through noise instead of clarity. But when you observe with detachment, something profound happens. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop controlling. You observe life as it is, without judgment, without resistance, and without forcing outcomes. This creates coherence between your mind and the field around you. Your thoughts become like calm ripples instead of chaotic waves, allowing the quantum field to respond smoothly and intelligently. The field, which contains infinite possibilities, naturally gravitates toward the most harmonious version of your desire. You don't have to make it happen, you have to let it happen. Detachment, in essence, is a form of trust. It's trusting that your awareness is enough to influence reality without manipulation. When your consciousness is still and focused, you allow reality to rearrange itself with precision. You become like a conductor who doesn't play every instrument, but directs the entire orchestra through silent intention. The universe, in turn, listens to your energy, not your effort. It doesn't respond to begging, worry, or force. It responds to awareness, to clarity, and to the calm confidence of someone who knows that everything is already unfolding as it should. So the next time you find yourself overthinking or obsessing about how something will happen, remember this: In the quantum field, your awareness is the key that unlocks infinite doors, but only the quiet observer, not the desperate one, can see them open. When you detach and simply watch with understanding, you align with the highest possibility available to you. Reality then stops resisting and starts resonating, because the universe doesn't respond to noise. It responds to stillness. It doesn't react to desperation. It reflects awareness. 2. Detachment is not apathy. It's quantum clarity. Many people misunderstand the concept of detachment. They assume it means becoming emotionless, careless, or indifferent to life, as if to detach is to stop feeling or stop trying. But true detachment is not apathy, it's clarity. It is the ability to participate fully in life without being enslaved by outcomes. It means you can love deeply without clinging, work passionately without desperation, and dream boldly without fear of failure. In the realm of quantum physics, detachment represents the most stable and coherent frequency of consciousness, a state of alignment where your energy flows freely without distortion. To understand this, imagine the human mind as a radio transmitter. Every thought and emotion sends out a frequency into the quantum field, a vast ocean of infinite possibilities. When you're attached, when you need something to happen or fear that it won't, your signal becomes unstable. The frequency you emit is filled with interference. Doubt, anxiety, and obsession send mixed messages into the field, confusing the very reality you are trying to create. You say you want peace, yet your vibration is restless. You say you trust, yet your heart trembles with fear. In quantum terms, you are decohering your own wave, scattering your energy, so reality can't lock onto a clear pattern. But when you practice detachment, you move into coherence. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions align in harmony. You are no longer oscillating between hope and fear. Instead, you emit a pure signal of trust. This coherence is what the quantum field recognizes and responds to most powerfully. In physics, coherence means all particles vibrate together in perfect rhythm. In consciousness, it means your thoughts and emotions move in unity, not in contradiction. Detachment creates this unity. It silences the emotional noise that blocks the transmission of your intention. Detachment is not running away from desires, it's transcending the need for control. You still desire, but without clinging. You still plan, but without panic. You still move forward, but with inner stillness. This balance allows you to work with the universe rather than against it. Think of the difference between swimming with the current and struggling against it. Attachment is resistance, it exhausts you. Detachment is alignment, it carries you effortlessly forward. In simple terms, attachment is obsession with the how. It's the endless questioning. When will it happen? How will it happen? What if it doesn't? These questions keep your energy locked in the present problem rather than the solution. Detachment, on the other hand, is confidence in the unseen process. It's knowing that once you've set your intention, reality is already rearranging itself to meet you halfway. You no longer micromanage the universe because you understand that its timing and intelligence are far greater than yours. On a deeper level, detachment is about freedom, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You free yourself from the weight of expectation and disappointment. When you attach your happiness to outcomes, you give your power away. You say, "I'll be happy when this happens." But life doesn't work that way. The universe mirrors your inner state. It doesn't fix it for you. When you are content now, before anything arrives, you signal to the field that you already embody abundance. That vibration attracts more of it because like attracts like. This is why so many people experience breakthroughs only after giving up. They struggle and stress for months, and the moment they say, "You know what, I'll just let it go," everything begins to align. That's not coincidence, that's quantum law in motion. When they released resistance, their signal cleared, and the universe could finally respond. The door that was locked by tension opened effortlessly through surrender. Detachment, therefore, is not coldness, it's warmth without control. It is love without chains, effort without exhaustion, faith without fear. It is standing in the middle of uncertainty, yet feeling completely safe, because you know that the energy you emit is shaping the world around you. In quantum clarity, you no longer chase outcomes, you become the frequency of the outcome itself. And when you reach that state, calm, centered, non-reactive, something incredible happens. The people, opportunities, and answers you were chasing begin to find their way to you naturally. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started resonating. You became clear enough for the multiverse to hear you. You stopped shouting through the static of need and started whispering with the language of alignment. And in that silence, the multiverse listens. 3. The law of resonance. You don't attract what you want, you reflect what you are. In the quantum world, everything is vibration. Every atom, every thought, every emotion vibrates at a specific frequency. The law of resonance teaches that energies vibrating at similar frequencies naturally align, they resonate. This law explains why we keep attracting experiences that match our inner state, not our spoken desires. You may say you want peace, love, or abundance, but if you vibrate with worry, doubt, or fear, the universe can only reflect that same vibration back to you. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. Imagine standing before a mirror and frowning while asking for the reflection to smile. That's exactly what happens when your inner energy doesn't match your intentions. The mirror of reality can only project what you are showing it. When you broadcast need, lack, or insecurity, those frequencies echo into the quantum field and return to you as matching experiences, scarcity, rejection, or conflict. But when your inner state radiates gratitude, confidence, and wholeness, the multiverse mirrors those frequencies back as harmony, success, and abundance. The universe doesn't make moral judgments, it simply responds to your signal. It cannot send you a different song if you keep playing the same tune. To understand resonance more deeply, think about sound. When two tuning forks are placed side by side and one is struck, the other begins to vibrate in harmony. This phenomenon is called sympathetic resonance. Energy behaves the same way. When your mind vibrates at the frequency of love, calmness, or abundance, reality harmonizes with it. People who operate from similar vibrations are drawn to you, and events begin to align around your energy field. You don't have to chase them. Resonance brings them to you naturally. However, the biggest mistake people make is believing they can fake this vibration. You can't trick the universe with empty affirmations or surface-level positivity while deep down you're drowning in fear. The quantum field responds not to your words, but to your emotional frequency. You can't tell the universe you're grateful while your energy screams lack. This is why detachment plays such an important role in resonance. When you're attached, you send a mixed signal. Your conscious mind says, "I want it," but your subconscious whispers, "I don't have it." That contradiction cancels your manifestation. But when you detach and feel whole now, you send out one clear frequency, that of already having. And the multiverse, always faithful to vibration, mirrors that back through experiences that match your energy. This is also why gratitude is one of the most powerful frequencies in existence. Gratitude is not just polite thankfulness, it's the vibration of completion. When you feel grateful, your energy declares, "I already have enough." That state of sufficiency radiates abundance, and the quantum field, always echoing what you are, delivers more reasons to feel that way. On the other hand, need and desperation send the signal of absence, and reality magnifies it. The more you crave something, the more you affirm its lack. The more you trust that you already are complete, the more the universe provides experiences to match that truth. In everyday life, the law of resonance is visible everywhere. Think of people who constantly complain about betrayal or failure. They often attract more of it, not because they deserve it, but because their energy lives there. They keep tuning to that frequency, so the same song repeats. Conversely, those who live with optimism and faith seem to attract miracles effortlessly. They are not lucky, they are resonant. Their inner harmony aligns with the harmony of the universe, and life moves around them with grace. Resonance also explains why healing yourself changes your world. When you raise your frequency through forgiveness, meditation, gratitude, or stillness, you don't just feel better internally, your external world begins to rearrange. Toxic relationships fall away, new opportunities appear, synchronicities multiply. The quantum field around you literally reorganizes to match your new vibration. You didn't manifest these things by force, you became them. The universe merely echoed your energy back. So if your life feels out of tune, don't rush to change the world, change your frequency. Your external world is an echo chamber of your inner one. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What am I resonating with?" Because everything you experience is your frequency made visible. The universe is not punishing or rewarding you, it's reflecting you. And this is the beauty of the law of resonance. Once you truly understand it, you realize that reality has never been random. Every event, every encounter, every opportunity is a mirror of your vibration. You can't control the mirror by touching it, you can only change your reflection by shifting what's inside. When you become calm, trusting, and grateful, your frequency steadies. When your frequency steadies, the quantum field begins to harmonize with it. That's when the magic happens, not because you demanded it, but because you aligned with it. Remember this, you are not begging the universe to give you what you desire. You are tuning yourself into the reality where it already exists. When you become the vibration of peace, peace finds you. When you become the vibration of love, love appears. When you become the vibration of abundance, abundance surrounds you. This is the silent power of resonance. The multiverse is not hearing your words, it is listening to your energy. 4. Collapse of the old timeline. Every letting go creates a shift. In the quantum realm, reality isn't a single, fixed timeline. It's a field of infinite potential, where countless versions of you exist simultaneously. Every choice, every emotion, every act of awareness shifts you from one timeline to another. Imagine reality as an ocean made of infinite waves. Each wave is a possible version of your life, vibrating at a unique frequency. When you change your vibration through thought, emotion, or intention, you jump from one wave to another. You are not stuck on a single path. You are constantly moving through multiversal possibilities with every breath, every decision, and every letting go. This is what happens when you release attachment, fear, or pain. You collapse an old vibration, which no longer matches who you are, and align with a new one. Letting go is not losing, it's shifting. It's a form of quantum recalibration. When you hold on to something, a person, a failure, a memory, you're entangled with that timeline. Your energy is anchored to a version of reality that keeps replaying the same emotional loop. You wake up each day repeating yesterday's thoughts, reliving yesterday's pain, and expecting a new future while staying tuned to the same frequency. But the moment you let go, truly let go, you untangle that energy. You collapse that old timeline and free yourself to move into a higher one. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you keep clinging to static, you'll never hear the song that's waiting for you on another frequency. Letting go is turning the dial. You don't destroy the old song, you simply stop listening to it. The universe doesn't need you to fight the old energy, it needs you to stop feeding it. When you stop giving your attention to what drains you, you automatically realign with what uplifts you. Every act of release, forgiving someone, accepting what you cannot control, surrendering the need to be right, sends a shockwave through your field. That wave alters your resonance, and suddenly, the multiverse begins rearranging itself to match your new vibration. From a quantum perspective, letting go means withdrawing your observation from a lower energy state. Remember the observer effect. Your awareness defines what exists. When you stop observing pain, guilt, or resentment, those emotional particles lose power. They no longer collapse into physical reality because your consciousness is no longer feeding them energy. You dissolve the old pattern simply by refusing to look at it with the same emotional charge. That's why forgiveness is so powerful. It's not just moral virtue, it's quantum liberation. When you forgive, you release the energy holding you to an old timeline, and in that instant, you step into a new one, where peace and clarity already exist. Many people resist letting go because they think it means surrendering control. But in truth, letting go is the act of regaining control, not through force, but through alignment. Holding on to what hurts doesn't keep you safe, it keeps you stuck. When you release attachment to outcomes, people, or memories, you're not losing power, you're reclaiming it. You're telling the universe, I trust your intelligence more than my fear, and that trust is what triggers quantum shifts. The field responds immediately to that vibration of surrender because it's the frequency of faith, not fear. Have you ever noticed that when you finally stop trying to control something, things begin to fall perfectly into place? That's not coincidence, that's the physics of alignment. Your energy becomes lighter, your resistance disappears, and the quantum field can finally flow through you without friction. You stop pushing against life and start moving with it. The multiverse begins to synchronize with your clarity. Old relationships fade, but new ones form effortlessly. Lost opportunities transform into better ones. Even your physical health starts to mirror this internal release. Tension dissolves, sleep improves, intuition sharpens. The collapse of an old timeline ripples across every level of your being. It's also important to understand that timelines collapse not only through external choices, but through internal realization. The moment you genuinely see that you're no longer the same person who once suffered, you shift instantly. Awareness itself is a timeline jump. The universe mirrors your self-perception. So when you declare, I am no longer attached to that version of me, the quantum field rearranges itself to reflect your new identity. Old vibrations fall away because they can't coexist with your new awareness. That's how growth works. Not through endless effort, but through recognition and release. Letting go, then, is not a passive act. It's an energetic transformation. Every time you release something, a belief, a habit, a person, a fear, you're sending a signal into the field. I am ready for a higher version of myself. The multiverse hears that signal and begins shifting events, people, and circumstances to match your new vibration. The job you lose may open the door to the purpose you were meant to find. The relationship that ends may free the space for one that honors your growth. The disappointment that breaks your heart may collapse the old path so a new destiny can emerge. In the quantum design of life, nothing you let go of is ever wasted. Every release reshapes the probabilities around you. Every emotional surrender clears the interference that once blurred your path. The more you let go, the lighter your frequency becomes, And the lighter you are, the faster you move between realities. This is why people who live in flow seem to experience synchronicities everywhere. They're not lucky, they're fluid. They've mastered the art of collapsing old timelines and stepping into new ones without resistance. So understand this: when something falls apart, it's not punishment, it's a collapse. It means your soul has outgrown that version of reality. The energy you once matched is no longer compatible with who you are becoming. Let it dissolve with grace, because every letting go is a doorway, and every doorway leads to a higher dimension of your own evolution. You are not losing your life, you are shifting it. You are not falling behind, you are quantum leaping ahead. When you stop clinging to what was and open yourself to what is, you move into a flow that no longer feels forced. It feels guided. The multiverse responds instantly, because the moment you release resistance, you become aligned with your true timeline, the one where peace, purpose, and synchronicity are your natural state. Every letting go creates a shift, and in that shift, you remember that you were never meant to control the universe, only to move with it. 5. The still point, where manifestation begins. In both spirituality and quantum physics, there exists a mysterious concept, the still point. It is the silent center, where everything begins and ends, a place beyond motion, yet containing the potential for infinite movement. In physics, it corresponds to what scientists call the zero-point field, an underlying ocean of pure energy that fills the entire universe, even in absolute emptiness. It is not nothingness, but rather everything before it takes form. From this infinite reservoir of energy, all particles arise, all matter manifests, and all realities are born. In spiritual terms, this still point exists within you. It is the silent awareness behind your thoughts, the calm eye in the storm of your emotions, the center that never moves even when your world is spinning. When you connect to this inner stillness, you are literally syncing with the fabric of creation itself, the same field that holds galaxies together and births stars from the void. The still point is where manifestation truly begins, not in endless thinking, affirming, or striving, but in silence. When your mind is filled with noise, desires, and fears, you are projecting conflicting signals into the quantum field. The universe can't respond clearly to a signal filled with static. But when you quiet the noise, when you reach that deep inner stillness, your vibration becomes pure, focused, and aligned. You are no longer scattering your energy across thousands of thoughts. You are directing it as one powerful, coherent frequency. And it's in that moment that the multiverse begins to respond. The field listens when you stop shouting and start resonating. Think of the ocean. When the water is turbulent, it distorts reflections. The surface becomes chaotic, unable to mirror the sky. But when the water grows still, it perfectly reflects everything above it. The same is true for your consciousness. The stiller your mind, the more clearly it mirrors the infinite intelligence of the universe. Most people are constantly stirring the water, worrying, wishing, planning, regretting, and then wondering why their reality looks distorted. They don't realize that creation doesn't come from movement, it comes from stillness. In stillness, you stop being the wave and become the ocean. You stop trying to control reality and become the intelligence that shapes it. In practical terms, the still point is that state of being where you stop reacting and start observing. You don't rush to fix things. You don't chase answers. You allow them to surface naturally. You trust that the same intelligence that makes your heart beat and your lungs breathe knows how to arrange your reality too. You enter a state of allowing, which is not laziness but mastery. It's the awareness that reality organizes itself perfectly when you stop interfering. From this state, Creativity flows effortlessly, intuition becomes clear, and solutions appear as if whispered by the universe itself. The reason this happens is because the zero-point field, this quantum ocean of potential, is not separate from your consciousness. You are that field expressing itself as a human being. The energy that animates galaxies is the same energy that flows through your breath. But when you fill your mind with noise, thoughts of fear, control, or comparison, you disconnect from that source. You create resistance, just as friction disrupts a current of electricity. The more you think, the less you feel. The more you force, the less you flow. But the moment you return to stillness, even for a few seconds, you reconnect to the infinite field that's always creating for you. Ancient wisdom traditions knew this long before science caught up. The Buddha called it the middle path, the point between craving and aversion, where true awareness arises. The Taoists called it Wu Wei, effortless action, the art of doing without doing. In meditation, it's that moment when thought dissolves and only presence remains. In modern physics, it's described as a state of quantum equilibrium, pure potential energy, waiting for consciousness to direct it. Different words, same truth. Stillness is the foundation of creation. When you access this still point, you move beyond time. You are no longer the person waiting for things to happen. You become the awareness through which everything happens. You stop living in resistance and start living in resonance. Every great creator, thinker, or mystic throughout history has touched this stillness. Einstein once said his greatest ideas didn't come from thinking, but from silent intuition. Nikola Tesla meditated in silence to receive entire blueprints for his inventions. Even in martial arts, Bruce Lee called it the calm center in motion, the place from which all spontaneous action arises. That is the still point, not the absence of activity, but the presence of pure consciousness guiding it. In your daily life, you can touch this still point anytime you choose. It's there in the pause between breaths. It's there in the moment before you speak, in the silence between thoughts, in the second before you react. When you become aware of that space and rest in it, something miraculous happens. Your nervous system relaxes, your energy harmonizes, and your perception widens. You begin to see life not as chaos but as choreography. You realize that events are not random but rhythmic, following an intelligence that you are now in tune with. From this stillness, manifestation becomes effortless, because you are no longer manifesting from ego, you are manifesting from the quantum source itself. This is why prayer, meditation, and silence are not superstitions, but technologies of alignment. They retune your consciousness to the frequency of the zero-point field. When you pray not in desperation but in peace, you match the vibration of answered prayer. When you meditate not to escape reality but to feel it fully, you merge with the fabric of existence. From this union, you don't attract desires, you emanate them. You don't ask for miracles, you become the state where miracles naturally occur. And yet, this still point cannot be forced. The more you chase silence, the louder the mind becomes. You cannot command peace, you must allow it. Just as the surface of a lake becomes calm only when left undisturbed, the mind settles when you stop wrestling with it. That's when you feel that deep, indescribable sense of expansion, the awareness that you are connected to something infinite. It's in that awareness that creation truly begins. The field around you starts aligning with the quiet certainty within you. So if you ever feel lost, restless, or out of sync, don't rush to act. Pause. Step back into that inner stillness. Sit in silence, breathe deeply, and remember that you are not separate from the intelligence that governs the cosmos. Every time you return to that still point, you reset your entire energetic field. You re-enter harmony with the multiverse, and in that harmony, manifestation happens naturally, gracefully, effortlessly. The still point is where everything is born: ideas, love, healing, synchronicity. It is the cradle of all creation. When you touch it, you realize that the universe was never waiting for you to work harder. It was waiting for you to become still enough to listen. Because the moment you find silence within, the multiverse moves without hesitation. All creation begins not with a sound, but with silence. 6. Parallel realities. You shift by letting go, not by forcing. Across the vast field of quantum physics lies one of the most revolutionary realizations about existence: the understanding that reality is not linear, but parallel. You are not moving along a single predetermined line of destiny. Instead, you are swimming through an infinite ocean of potential realities, all existing at once. Every possible version of you, the confident you, the fearful you, the healed you, the abundant you, already exists in the multiverse right now. The version you experience in this moment depends entirely on your state of consciousness, your vibration, and your willingness to let go of resistance. Reality, in truth, is not something you walk through, it's something you tune into. Just like a radio doesn't create the songs it plays, but merely tunes into frequencies that already exist, your consciousness doesn't create new worlds from nothing. It simply locks onto the one that matches your energy. The version of life you experience right now is the one your vibration allows. Every emotion, thought, and belief is like a frequency setting on the dial of your soul. When you change your inner state, you instantly begin tuning into a parallel version of yourself and your world, one where different people respond to you, different opportunities appear, and different outcomes unfold. But here's the paradox. You cannot shift realities by force. You cannot push your way into a higher version of your life through effort, control, or endless striving. The universe doesn't respond to strain. It responds to surrender. Because the more you try to control reality, the more you confirm your belief that you don't have control. The harder you push, the more resistance you create. Forcing reality to change is like shaking a mirror, hoping the reflection will smile. It's the inner change, not the external effort, that does the shifting. Letting go, then, becomes the master key to shifting timelines. The moment you release attachment to how things should happen, your energy expands. You stop emitting the vibration of lack and begin radiating the frequency of trust. That vibration aligns you with parallel realities that already contain the peace, success, and joy you were chasing. The multiverse is not holding your blessings hostage. It's waiting for your energy to match their frequency. The more you cling, the more you delay. The more you let go, the faster you move. Consider this from the perspective of quantum superposition. The idea that every particle exists in multiple states until observed. Your life is no different. Every possibility exists at once until your consciousness, your belief, your attention, your focus collapses one into form. The problem is, most people are unconsciously collapsing the same timeline over and over again because they keep observing life through the same lens of fear, guilt, or doubt. They wake up each morning expecting the same problems, the same limitations, the same reality, and so that's exactly what they get. To shift, you must change the lens through which you observe reality. That change doesn't happen by willpower, it happens through surrender. When you let go of fear, you collapse the timeline where fear controls you. When you release the need to prove yourself, you collapse the reality where you feel unworthy. When you forgive, you collapse the parallel world built from resentment and pain. Each act of emotional release is a quantum event. It collapses one potential and opens another. You are constantly creating new worlds every time you choose peace over chaos, love over anger, awareness over ego. To truly understand how this works, imagine your consciousness as a projector and the world as the screen. If you don't like what you see, you don't run toward the screen to paint over it. You change the film inside the projector. That film is your vibration, your belief system, your inner frequency. When you alter that inner energy, the images projected outward, your experiences automatically shift. The external world cannot resist the frequency of your inner transformation. That's why every deep inner healing creates outer miracles. But the most misunderstood part of this law is that shifting realities isn't dramatic. It doesn't require fire in the sky or portals in space. It happens quietly, seamlessly, moment to moment. You may wake up one day and feel as though life suddenly clicked. You'll notice synchronicities increasing, certain people fading away, and new ones appearing without effort. You'll start to sense that life feels smoother, not because the world changed, but because you did. You subtly shifted into a version of yourself that already existed in another reality, the one aligned with your new energy. The old you still exists, but your awareness no longer visits that frequency. The key is learning to trust this invisible process. Most people block quantum shifts because they expect immediate proof. They say, "I've let go, but nothing's happening." The truth is, the moment you let go, everything begins happening, just not on the timeline your mind expects. The universe rearranges itself in ways your logic can't measure. The right people, coincidences and opportunities start aligning like gears in a clock, silently, perfectly. It's only when you look back later that you realize how everything was being reassembled beneath the surface. Letting go also requires courage. The courage to step into uncertainty without demanding guarantees. The old version of you wants control because control feels safe. But real transformation lives beyond the comfort zone of the known. When you surrender your need to control, you allow the unknown to reveal its intelligence. You realize that uncertainty is not emptiness, it's potential. It's the fertile ground from which new timelines sprout. On a practical level, this shift can be felt as an emotional lightness, as if something invisible has lifted off your shoulders. You begin caring less about what doesn't matter and caring more about what does. Your reactions soften, your intuition strengthens, and your life starts flowing in surprising directions. You notice that things you used to chase now come to you with ease. This is the sign that you've shifted frequencies. You're no longer operating from resistance, you're operating from resonance. In this state, even your sense of time begins to change. You stop measuring your life in hours and start experiencing it in moments. You move from waiting to being. You realize that each moment is a doorway to a new timeline, and your state of consciousness decides which one you walk through. The more you surrender, the more those doors open. The more you cling, the more they stay closed. The beauty of this truth is that you never have to fight for a better reality. You don't need to manifest through endless rituals or visualize for hours. The only work you ever truly need to do is energetic alignment. The more you clear your fear, your doubt, and your need for control, the closer you move to your higher vibration. That vibration will automatically tune you into the version of reality where the things you once chased already exist. So when you feel stuck, remember, nothing is truly stuck. It's just that your awareness is fixated on one version of reality. Shift your focus inward. Let go of what feels heavy. Forgive what feels unfair. Breathe into what feels uncertain. Every time you do, you rise in frequency. And every rise in frequency moves you into a parallel version of life that mirrors your new vibration. You don't need to force the universe to change. You only need to let go of everything that keeps you tied to the old one. When you do, reality itself begins to unfold differently. People treat you differently. Circumstances evolve. Synchronicities multiply. Because you are no longer trying to create a better world, you are allowing yourself to step into the one that's already waiting. That is the essence of quantum shifting. The understanding that letting go is not losing control, it is reuniting with the flow of creation. When you stop trying to swim upstream, you discover that the river was always carrying you toward something greater. Every time you surrender, you are not falling backward, you are gliding into a higher current. And as you relax into that current, the multiverse adjusts its rhythm to match your surrender. You shift not by effort, but by release. You evolve, not by holding tighter, but by letting the current carry you home. And in that effortless flow, you find the truth that was always waiting. The multiverse was never distant or silent, it was listening all along, waiting for the moment you became still enough to let go and finally hear it. 7. The paradox of creation. When you stop needing, you start receiving. In the language of the multiverse, need is noise. Every time you think, I must have this to be happy, you send a frequency of lack into the field. The quantum realm, like a mirror, doesn't interpret your words, it reflects your energy. When your vibration says, I don't have it yet, the universe simply responds, as you wish. That's the paradox of creation. The more you chase what you want, the more you affirm its absence. But the moment you stop needing, when you relax, release, and trust, the energy of desire transforms into the frequency of receiving. You stop reaching, and everything you were chasing begins to move toward you naturally. To understand this, imagine standing in front of a still pond with a flower floating in the middle. The more you splash and reach for it, the further it drifts away. But if you stand still, the ripples fade and the flower gently drifts back toward you. That's exactly how manifestation works. The universe is not testing you, it's responding to the calmness of your signal. When you are desperate, your energy ripples with confusion and fear. But when you're at peace, your signal becomes clear, and the field of infinite possibility can finally align with it. The paradox is simple but profound. Receiving begins when wanting ends. Most people don't realize that desire and need are different vibrations. Desire is creative. It inspires action. It's rooted in curiosity and joy. But need is constrictive. It's born from fear, from the belief that something outside yourself will complete you. The multiverse doesn't respond to need because need implies separation, and separation is an illusion. When you believe you're incomplete without something, a person, success, or wealth, you disconnect from your true source of power, the knowing that you already are whole. In quantum terms, wholeness is coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and energy are unified, the field recognizes that harmony and reflects it back. That's why detachment is not about not wanting. It's about wanting without resistance. It's trusting that what's meant for you already exists in the field and is being guided toward you by your frequency, not your force. You become like gravity, silent but magnetic. You attract not by chasing, but by embodying. This is why so many people say things begin to flow the moment they stop trying so hard. When you surrender the timeline, the outcome, and the constant mental control, you release resistance. You create space for the field to do its work. The mind tries to make things happen through logic and linear time. The field, however, operates through resonance, through unseen connections, coincidences, and energy patterns far beyond the intellect's reach. When you let go of need, you're essentially saying, I trust the intelligence that created galaxies to also guide my path. That vibration of trust unlocks doors that effort never could. Consider how sunlight nourishes plants. The plant never chases the sun, it simply grows toward the light. In the same way, When you align yourself with gratitude, peace, and inner abundance, life naturally gravitates toward you. You no longer have to struggle for what you desire. You simply become a clear channel for it to arrive. The reason this paradox feels counterintuitive is because we are conditioned to equate effort with success. But the universe doesn't measure your effort. It measures your energy. If your energy says, "I already have everything I need," you match the vibration of abundance. And abundance, by law of resonance, mirrors itself back to you. This is why the great masters, sages, and mystics all spoke about surrender. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means stepping out of the way. It's allowing the river of life to carry you instead of exhausting yourself by swimming against the current. It's trusting that even when things look uncertain, the field is still responding perfectly to your energy. You may not see the full picture, but the moment you stop grasping, you begin receiving in ways your logical mind could never predict. Letting go of need also transforms how you experience time. When you're obsessed with the future, you vibrate in absence. You're always waiting for something to make you whole. But when you anchor yourself in the present moment in awareness, gratitude, and trust, you collapse time itself. The future you want begins to merge with your now, because energetically, you are already embodying it. The quantum field doesn't differentiate between imagination and reality. It simply amplifies what you feel most consistently. That's why imagining from completion, "it's already done," is far more powerful than visualizing from lack, "I hope it happens." There's also a deep spiritual truth here. What you truly desire is never the object itself, but the state of being it represents. You don't want wealth, you want the freedom it gives. You don't want love, you want the feeling of being seen, safe, and understood. You don't want success, you want fulfillment. When you cultivate those emotions now, before the manifestation arrives, you tune yourself to the frequency of your desired reality. The universe then delivers the outer experience that matches the inner vibration you've already created. This is why detachment accelerates manifestation, because it signals to the multiverse that you've already become what you seek. But detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means moving with intention, but without emotional dependence on the result. You still visualize, act, and plan, but with calm energy, not desperation. You're no longer saying, "I'll be happy when it happens." You're saying, "I'm happy now, and it's happening." The shift may seem small in words, but is immense in vibration. That's the point where miracles occur, not because you forced the universe's hand, but because you finally aligned with its rhythm. This is the great paradox of creation. When you stop grasping, life starts giving. When you stop waiting, what you wanted begins arriving. When you stop seeking validation, people start valuing you. When you stop worrying about time, synchronicities unfold right on schedule. Because in truth, you were never waiting for the universe. It was waiting for you to relax. In the end, detachment is the language of mastery. It's the state of knowing that everything in the multiverse moves through energy, and energy flows where attention rests. When your attention rests in peace, peace expands. When it rests in gratitude, blessings multiply. When it rests in trust, life becomes miraculous. You realize that the universe was never withholding. It was always listening. It was waiting for the moment you stopped shouting through the static of need and started whispering through the silence of being. So the next time you find yourself chasing something, love, wealth, recognition, and healing, pause, take a breath. Remember that what you want is already vibrating in the field around you. You don't have to grab it. You just have to align with it. Release the tension in your body, soften your thoughts, and say inwardly, "It's already done." Feel it as if it's already true. Because in the quantum realm, the one who stops needing is the one who begins receiving. The multiverse listens not to the words you speak, but to the energy you radiate. When your energy says, "I am whole," creation bows in agreement. The more you let go, the more the universe rushes in to fill the space you once occupied with worry. And that is the final secret. The universe was never testing your patience, it was testing your faith. When you finally trust enough to stop reaching, you realize the truth. The universe was reaching for you all along. 8. The mirror of existence. The universe reflects. It doesn't reward or punish. At the deepest level of quantum understanding, the universe is not a judge, it is a mirror. It doesn't sit above you deciding whether to grant your wishes or withhold them. It doesn't punish you for mistakes or reward you for virtue in the human sense. Instead, it reflects constantly, precisely, and without bias. Everything you experience externally is an echo of what exists internally. Every situation, every encounter, every success, and every failure is a reflection of your own state of being projected back to you through the infinite intelligence of the field. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. This is one of the most liberating and terrifying truths at once. It means that your life isn't happening to you, it's happening through you. Every vibration you emit, whether through thoughts, emotions, or beliefs, ripples into the quantum fabric of reality, and that fabric rearranges itself accordingly. It's not personal, it's physics. The law of resonance and reflection governs it all. The multiverse functions like an infinite hall of mirrors, reflecting countless versions of you simultaneously, and your consciousness determines which reflection you perceive. The clearer your inner world, the clearer the reflection you see. The more chaotic your inner energy, the more distorted your external reality becomes. This is why blaming the outside world never truly changes anything. You can repaint the mirror, but until you change the image standing before it, the reflection remains the same. The moment you realize this, you stop wasting energy fighting external battles and begin the true work mastering your inner state. The people who frustrate you, the challenges that trigger you, the setbacks that humble you, all of them are mirrors showing you where your energy is misaligned. Life keeps showing you yourself until you finally understand the lesson. If you find yourself surrounded by negativity, look inward. If you constantly feel unseen or unloved, ask yourself where you've stopped seeing and loving your own being. The world outside is a screen upon which your consciousness projects its inner film. When you change the film, the thoughts you think, the stories you tell, the emotions you nurture, the movie changes automatically. That's not poetic philosophy. That's quantum mechanics applied to consciousness. You are both the observer and the observed, the director and the actor, the creator and the created. The mirror of existence also teaches us that energy cannot lie. You can smile and say, "I'm fine." But if your vibration carries sadness or resentment, the universe will mirror that, not your words. You can affirm, "I'm abundant," 1,000 times a day. But if your subconscious hums with fear of scarcity, reality will still echo that frequency. The field doesn't respond to language, it responds to coherence. It listens not to your surface thoughts, but to your dominant vibration. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, the mirror clears and reality starts to reflect back harmony instead of distortion. It's important to understand that this reflection is not a punishment, it's guidance. The universe doesn't send painful situations to break you, it sends them to show you where you are still fragmented. When relationships fall apart, it may be showing you your attachment to validation. When opportunities close, it may be revealing your lack of trust in timing. When people mistreat you, it might be reflecting the way you unconsciously mistreat yourself through doubt or neglect. Each mirror is a message. The question is not, "Why is this happening to me?" but What part of me is being shown through this? From a higher perspective, even the darkest experiences are mirrors of transformation. When you go through loss, heartbreak, or failure, the mirror cracks, but in those cracks, light enters. The breaking of illusion allows you to see more clearly who you truly are beyond the roles, attachments, and fears. The reflection becomes sharper. Many people awaken spiritually only after everything collapses, because suffering shatters the false self. When the mirror breaks, you stop identifying with the image and start remembering the one who is looking. In quantum terms, this breaking is also a collapse, the collapse of old patterns and timelines that no longer match your frequency. The pain you feel is the resistance of the old self dissolving. When you stop resisting that process and instead see every reflection, pleasant or painful, as feedback from the field, life starts flowing differently. You stop taking things personally and start taking them consciously. You begin to understand that every event is energy communicating with you, helping you evolve toward coherence and awareness. The mirror also reveals a profound truth about love and compassion. When you understand that everyone is reflecting you, judgment dissolves. You stop seeing enemies and start seeing mirrors. The person who criticizes you may be reflecting your own self-criticism. The one who inspires you is showing you what's possible within you. Every soul you meet is a fragment of the same universal consciousness, wearing a different mask. When you grasp this, compassion arises naturally. You no longer react, you respond with understanding. The entire world becomes your teacher, each reflection guiding you back to yourself. To work with the mirror consciously, you must learn to observe without distortion. This requires emotional honesty, the courage to see your reflection without denial. The moment you do, the energy shifts. When you acknowledge your fear, you stop projecting it. When you forgive yourself, you stop attracting pain. When you honor your worth, you start receiving respect. The mirror doesn't change because you beg it to. It changes because you have. You raise your vibration, and reality recalibrates itself around your new frequency. This understanding brings an immense sense of empowerment. If life mirrors you, then you are never powerless. You can transform any situation by transforming your energy. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond, and that response determines the next reflection you'll see. This is how you consciously shape your timeline. You stop reacting to the old reflection and start creating a new one through awareness. The mirror follows your inner evolution faithfully. The mirror of existence also teaches the humility of self-awareness. Every time you point a finger outward, remember that 3 fingers point back. Every complaint about the world is a disguised invitation to examine your vibration. The universe never gets tired of showing you yourself, because its purpose is not to please you but to evolve you. It mirrors your light and your shadow equally, urging you to integrate both. That's how you become whole, by loving every reflection without fear. And when you finally reach that level of awareness, when you can look into the mirror of life and no longer see lack, fear, or separation, the reflection changes entirely. The world begins to soften. People treat you differently. Synchronicities multiply. You start encountering kindness, opportunities, and grace everywhere. It's not that life suddenly became easier, it's that you became clearer. The mirror is finally showing you the harmony you cultivated within. So the next time reality seems unfair, don't curse the reflection, clean the mirror. Return to your stillness, your gratitude, your awareness. Ask yourself, what is this showing me about my vibration right now? And adjust accordingly. The moment you shift inward, the external world must follow. That's not wishful thinking, it's resonance. The universe is infinitely intelligent, but also infinitely neutral. It doesn't choose sides, it reflects states. When you radiate chaos, chaos appears. When you radiate peace, peace unfolds. When you embody love, love becomes unavoidable. That is the mirror's promise. It always tells the truth, even when it hurts. But when you finally learn to love that truth instead of fearing it, the reflection becomes luminous. You begin to see God, the multiverse, and your own soul all looking back at you, one and the same. And that's when you realize you were never separate from the reflection at all. You are the mirror consciousness experiencing itself. The universe is not rewarding or punishing you. It's reminding you who you are. Every reflection, every joy, every struggle, every silence is a conversation between you and the infinite, echoing one truth through all dimensions. As within, so without. When you step back and see the grand pattern behind every lesson, awareness, detachment, resonance, surrender, stillness, shifting, and reflection, you realize they are all pointing to the same truth. Reality is not something happening to you, it's something responding to you. You are not a passive passenger in the universe's design, you are its conscious participant. Every thought is a signal, every emotion a vibration, every act of surrender a realignment with infinite intelligence. The multiverse doesn't react to noise, it listens to clarity. And clarity is born only when the mind becomes still, when the heart becomes trusting, when you detach from control and return to awareness. The universe is not far away, hidden behind stars or time. It's humming through every breath you take. You are inside it, and it is inside you. You are the observer and the observed, the creator and the creation, the wave and the ocean. Every time you let go of fear, you collapse an old version of reality and step into a higher one. Every moment of surrender opens a new door. Every time you choose trust over tension, love over need, and awareness over resistance, you tune yourself closer to the frequency of the infinite. That is how reality shifts, not through struggle, but through stillness. To detach is not to stop caring, it is to stop controlling. It's to love without fear of loss, to create without needing validation, to move through uncertainty, with the quiet knowing that you are never separate from the intelligence that moves galaxies. Detachment is the art of being present fully, deeply, and peacefully, without drowning in the weight of outcomes. In that state, your energy becomes coherent. The quantum field, which mirrors coherence, begins to respond like a living symphony following your vibration. That's when coincidences start aligning like notes in harmony, and you realize they were never coincidences, they were answers. When you detach, you stop trying to bend reality to your will and begin allowing it to unfold in alignment with your vibration. You stop fighting for your place in the universe and start remembering that you are the universe. The same consciousness that breathes life into stars breathes through you. You are not a fragment, you are the field itself, momentarily experiencing individuality. And when you stop resisting that truth, everything begins to flow. The secret has never been about trying harder, wanting more, or manifesting faster. The secret is to become still enough to hear the universe whisper back. When you silence the mind's noise, the multiverse finally has room to speak. It speaks through synchronicity, through intuition, through moments of peace so deep that even your bones feel like they're remembering something ancient. And what they're remembering is this: creation has always been a dance between your awareness and the field that surrounds it. When you move gracefully, without attachment, the field moves with you. So, breathe. Step back, trust, detach not from life, but from the illusion of control. Observe the play of existence with calm eyes and a steady heart. Know that your energy is your language, and the universe is fluent in it. You don't have to shout your desires into the void. You only need to align your vibration with the reality where they already exist. The moment you let go, you are heard. The moment you trust, you are guided. The moment you become still, you begin to move through realities effortlessly because the multiverse is not outside you, waiting for instructions. It is within you, waiting for your alignment. And when you finally detach, when you no longer chase outcomes but embody peace, something extraordinary happens. The multiverse listens. It rearranges timelines, bends probability, and orchestrates miracles with precision. Because now, you've stopped resisting and started resonating. You've stopped asking, when will it happen? And started living as if it already has. That is when the field answers in silence, through synchronicity, through flow, through everything that begins to make perfect sense without explanation. For in detachment, you have become the still center of creation itself. And from that still center, everything you ever desired begins to orbit naturally around you. When you detach, you don't lose control. You become one with the intelligence that was guiding everything all along. The multiverse isn't testing you. It's listening. Always has been. Always will.